Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Are we
Hi.
on the horn?
We're on. How are you guys?
Oh my goodness.
Holy moly, man. Can I get a countdown? Yeah, what's up, everybody?
Feeling okay. How are you guys? How are
What's the
yours?
vibe?
I've been good. We're just gonna pretend that we haven't been in a call together already for like 20 minutes for technical difficulties, but I'm good. Hope you guys are good. Um, yeah, so today
Count?
we have Jed on today. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us how your day's been so far?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, my name is Jed. I am a organizer for Team TSD. I co-founded it with Dazer back in the day, and back in the day, I mean like 1 year ago, more or less. And I also organize for Latin America and a few other places. So I'm very excited to be here, and then thanks to Oris for having me.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, Jed is also kind of like brought on two Team TSD big people here. Jed passed the reins to Renge.
That
How
did
long has it been
happen.
now?
Couple months, I
I
think. I
think
don't really remember.
it
It
was
was like the
after.
end of Tetris Cup 4?
Yeah.
No,
I think it's been
something like
about
that.
3 months, more or
3 months,
less.
maybe 4.
Yeah,
It was
for
during the
sure.
summer. I remember
It
that
was
much.
during summer, so
But yeah.
um,
Jed's still like doing a lot of stuff around. I'm still learning this the stuff. The everything about tournament organizing and like actually doing the behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
for
Maybe
sure.
maybe one day it'll be like Jed Quinn can retire in peace.
Jed will never
Um,
retire.
I I it's very very hard for me to see that happening. I don't know, man. I feel like retiring means that you've already like established like people who are gonna be there, and it's just I don't know. I hate people who quit for sure. So it's just I'm very like in tune with this and making sure that the community has something for sure at the very least.
Yeah, so you've certainly kept yourself busy. I don't know, like I guess giving up Team TSD or giving up some responsibility in Team TSD has given you a lot more time to work with a lot of other organizations. I think you're working with like 3 of them now, right? Or these are the ones I recalled. You're working with
Uh,
BTS, the Latam community, Vietnam Tetris, and TAWS, right? Or if there's anything I missed. Or...
no, that's very accurate. So in terms of Law Tom, uh, for Latin America, obviously, I am a main admin in Beyond the Stars, which is like the big LATAM community. We do all the Spanish events and the restreams, and we even have our own events actually that are a little bit popular in terms of viewership and attendance and stuff like that. So I've been occupying a lot of my time just helping them out because way before I was even into like organizing like Jstris Cup or stuff like that, I really wanted to do something for LATAM, and it just comes to be that Beyond the Stars happened, and then I joined, and then a bunch of stuff. And similarly with Vietnam Tetris, actually, I don't even think I should call myself like anything for them. Like I commentated
We're
it, and I
both
put
we're
like a
both
laugh
in it.
track one
We're both on
time.
it.
Didn't you have a tournament named after you?
No, I never did it. I haven't done it yet.
It
That's the
hasn't
thing.
been
That's the thing.
it happened yet. It's in the works.
Oh, has that been
Or
announced?
so
That's
they
my bad.
say. No.
Oops.
But
For some
everyone
reason,
knows.
okay, wait. This is very funny. Okay,
Okay.
so you know Taz, right?
Yes.
I don't know, but for some reason, I joined Taz and I looked at the signups and I saw 2 signups, and I'm like, no way. So on on some on some psychotic breakdown stuff, I made a copy pasta and then I translated it into like 7 languages, right?
Okay.
And then I put it everywhere I knew, and it was good. It was good promo, and it basically revived Taz, right? But the people in Vietnam, I told them that I wanted to do a Vietnam tournament, and so
What
they
was it gonna
thought
be
that
called,
Taz was my tournament, and so they pinged everybody, and I'm like, oh brother. So it was very funny. But yeah, the Vietnam people, they're really, really kind to us. Shout out to David and Komodo and Vi. Yo, big shout outs to Vi who
Why doesn't
maybe stay up until like 4 a.m. to get a stream key or something. It was really crazy. Big love to him.
The Vietnam
for
Tetris
sure.
community, low key, kind of popping off recently. They've been working really hard on their stuff. I work with them a lot, probably a little bit more than Jed.
For sure.
They said they're gearing up to do something big soon, right?
They are.
It's kind of public, I guess. It wasn't.
It's kind of public. Like, people who know the Vietnam folk absolutely know that there's something. They just don't know what yet.
Yeah, for sure. That's okay. That's for them to announce. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. Yeah. We're not on. This is not called snitch talk, right? Or around. I don't know.
Around the snitch. I don't know.
For sure. But definitely, they have some crazy talent in terms of production. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't see any other community, like, besides like the big, like us, you know, like Team TSD, MMC. Like, the Vietnam Tetris community has like a very like good production team for some random reason. Like,
dude, they got crazy good graphic design.
Yeah, they have like transitions and like like what is going on, man? They're so crazy.
It's good, especially for it like being like a local community. Hopefully, I don't know, Vietnam's not that big of a country. Hopefully they can like see each other eventually.
No, but they're definitely like very, very active. Like, they're very well organized. I really like they're on some. They're very, very well organized, I would say. And it's just not even us. It's like none of us are there. It's just like this group of guys just doing stuff. So it's like very, very nice to.
Apart, and every evening I'm just like 2 a.m. just like, you know, getting ready for bed, and then I see them working on stuff on Discord without fail every single night, and I'm like, damn.
Well, that's morning for them, right? To be fair,
it's like afternoon. It's like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
But they're just grinding. You love to see that.
That's really good.
You love to see that. Shout out to Vietnam.
It's like not hard to be organized if you like care, I think.
Yeah.
That's that should be a very good topic of discussion. I've been having. Sometimes I go on walks. You know, I go on walks and I start thinking, man. And then I started thinking about, like, really? Are we really that good? Are any of us really that good? I don't think we are. Like, I really don't think that we're, like, anyone is that far from the type of production we do. You know? Like, anyone can probably do it if they care. You know, if they just care a little bit, and then they just ask a few people. You could probably... That's how I got into it, right? Like, I had, like, very long discussions with Dazer until eventually I annoyed him to the point that we made Team TSD. You see? And I just had persistence because I cared, you know? Like, how many people could have done that? I feel like anybody could have done that, you know?
Yeah.
And or anybody could have made MMC, or anyone could have made, you know, whatever World Puzzle League.
Those are our like 3 or 4 examples of like big organizations. We just say like UC, MFC.
Right, UC. Anybody could have made an amateur.
You did. I
remember way back when we were making the Jstris Cup assets. I asked Glitchy to make a little cup, and I was thinking of making an amateur event. I'm like, yeah, how many people care about that? You know, that sounds a little complicated. And so we never. Also, it was Jstris, so come on now, folks. Jstris doesn't even have a ranked system. Kind of a dead game. Kind of dying. Anyway, but I don't think anybody's really that far from whatever we're doing. But if we care, if people care about it, then there will always be a certain amount of success and quality to things. So start caring, I guess. That's my main point.
I think you're like the big, like, poster child for caring being a big conduit for success. You know, like not everyone is as like frontwards facing.
I have an alarm on my phone. I don't know what that was.
I thought that was Jed. I was not gonna lie.
Sorry.
It's always me, I guess, man. So crazy.
I was like, damn, he's playing this.
It's always
Renge
me.
banner? That's
My bad.
crazy.
Wait, I have an alarm. I have an alarm going off. Give me a sec. 1 sec. I have an alarm.
Right.
Oh, there we go. Okay, it's off.
There you go.
Okay, turn it off. Okay.
Okay, good.
I
Sorry,
was gonna
folks.
say, like, I think Jed, you're super, super like front facing in the community. Like everybody knows what you do, and you kind of get not even like as an ironic statement, although partially as an ironic statement. I think you've given every single commentator in Tetris like a really, really bad case of brainworms.
What?
Okay. So this is like very off topic, but I want to bring this up because I noticed this on while I was listening to the Tetris Journey commentary the other day. I heard the word sheesh like at least 8 times, and that is all your fault.
I don't know what's been going on, but everywhere, like everyone I talk to, like, yeah, sheesh, and they put a cold face. I don't know,
Exactly.
like, if I bullied Kion too much to the point where he's just like, I don't know what happened, dude, but people they're really, really into that for some reason.
But I think like even though that's like absolutely just it's a very funny haha, it kind of like shows that people will be listening to you and what you think and what you say, and they also will like pick up on that kind of stuff. So the fact that people go sheesh is kind of like proof that they are listening to you and they kind of respect you like that.
That's a spin on that.
As a bit of a spin, but I also just think they think sheesh is funny for what it's worth.
I think it's
Could be both
a
things.
combination of things because they're as much as like we've tried to like democratize like commentators. There's basically like 2 friend groups that commentate every event, and both of them happen to. Well, one it contains Jed, so that's the earworm part, and the other one is it's like Garbo Cult or whatever, and that has Kion, and I don't know exactly what caused that to spread, but I don't know.
I feel like it must be him. It must be him, because here's the thing, right? Okay, let me explain the story. So, I don't know how, or for some reason. Oh, I remember now. So I made a stream, and I was ranking like the best UC people, right? And so I put Kion number 1, okay? And then shortly after that stream, or maybe like the month after, UC All Stars happens, right?
Yes.
And so like
Oh.
Modest took it upon himself to coach Kion, right? And I took it upon myself to coach a then young superstar Brilladas, right?
Yes.
And so what ended up happening, it was like this very funny rivalry, right? Because it was like Latam versus whatever, right? Anyway, Brilladas ends up outplacing Kion, right? And so I think one day Kion was talking shit, or he did something. He did something that was like I just had to use it, and then I made like this Armada gift of like Kion placed what at UC All Stars. You know, it's like when he has like the surprised face, right?
Yes.
And then I started doing like in my own friend group, and like my personal friend group, we use like this emote. We use like grimacing, like when it's like, you know, and thumbs down, and I was like glass, and it was just like thumbs down, and then if you were playing good, it would be like grass or something, and then you use the cold face, which is like used for sheesh now for some reason. So I would constantly be spamming him with this, right? And then one day I 1v1 Kirigo. I think I beat him the first set, and then he beat me, and I paid Kion. We were betting, so I paid him a supporter, and then he used it against me, and so he was using the same thing, and it was just like this constant back and forth thing. And then maybe I said sheesh at some point,
I think
I don't remember
it's
what
like that
said
flavor of
sheesh.
like, you know how there's like the meme where it's just like the plonker, like just a bunch of random like buzzwords about Tetra. It's like that, except for you because you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
sheesh a
yeah.
lot. You use that emote.
But the thing is, I don't say sheesh a lot. I
No.
don't think I've said it that much. You know who
I don't
did
know.
say
You
it a
said it
lot?
you said it a couple times. You say
You know who
that's
said it
my
a
dog.
lot?
Who did?
ModestTomato said it a lot on Renge Evolution. Like he said sheesh, oh,
Yeah,
like
it's a
an
TikTok thing.
incredible pace.
It's a TikTok thing. It's not like specific
Is
to
it
a
a
person.
TikTok thing?
I don't know. It's like popular culture now.
Yeah, but this is like I don't even I don't know. Tetris people are like I don't know,
We
man. I
latch
feel
on
like
to
I don't
jokes
know.
sometimes they
very
don't
quickly.
exist outside of like this because I never see pop culture. It's mostly parodies. Anyway, so modest said sheesh a lot, and so my theory is that like maybe I said it a few times. I know I say that's my dog and all that shit a bunch, and that makes sense. But
Sheesh.
like
You're the sheesh.
I don't really say sheesh
That's the
like as
peak.
Yeah.
often as you'd think, but you know, modest Renge, Team TSD, Jed, that's my dog, funny, sheesh, Jed says sheesh, cold face. And then, you know, that's how most culture or memes come up. So, um, I find it really funny that people just, every time they see me, they just have to say that. Um,
I mean, being a meme is always fun, I guess. I don't know.
so like,
Yeah.
that's been happening. I feel like, well, every meme eventually gets old. I don't think it's gotten old yet, but it will
Yeah,
get old. And so I'm always trying to think of new things to say.
You gotta find the newest
that's
monkey time.
that's my cat. I don't know.
That's evil Jed.
Oh
Goes,
shit.
"That's my
Okay.
cat."
We should talk about. I think a lot of people don't know, but we should talk about like Hell in the Cell too, right?
Mm.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess like you have your opinions on. We're good. We're jumping around. You have. Well, you've said in the past your ideas on content are usually just like aside from like just gameplay streams or tournament streams, like some weird like crazy stuff. I don't know. That's or I don't know. That's
Jed
not
is
really
like a
categorized.
radicalist in tournament enjoyer theory. You know?
Okay. What happened with Hell in the Cell 2? Let's not get too far.
Okay. Well, let me. Okay. So Hell in the Cell. It's really because if you really think about it, it's just like an exhibition between like low U players or like SS players, right?
All right, thanks, Jed.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's keep it real, Reg. Let's keep it real. Okay. Anyway, so the whole point of that is that you're trying to make it you're trying to make something as mundane as an exhibition like that be entertaining, you know? And so like the way that I thought about it is like you just try to add just random shit. And not even random. It's like very like just absurd shit that you just put in there from time to time, right? Or whatever comes up to you on the spot, right? I think
Yeah.
in Hell in a Cell 1, I really couldn't do that, mostly because no. In Hell in a Cell 1, we did do that. But I did it like 30 minutes before and I was super late and I was about to cancel it and Modest talked me out of it. Shout out to ModestTomato. And I actually did it. And so like I made like the whole psychopath thing or whatever. And it was
Yeah.
like and so since it was gonna be low quality anyway, like I might as well just like commit to a bit, right? To like the easiest bit possible. And then just try to do that. So on Hell in the Cell 2, I actually wanted to do some production. And then I just did the same thing of this like last minute whatever. And also I had to commentate UC the same day. I don't know why UC always like comes up because I remember I had to play a Latam tournament or something, and I was playing the Latam tournament as I was commentating UC. That's another story. Anyway, um,
Get around, Jet.
what ended up happening is I was going to do it with like distorted American anthem in the background because it was 4th of July, of course. Um
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is Cheeky was like, yo, let me cast this. And so randomly I just picked Cheeky out, and then me and him just started commentating this first to 15. And I wasn't looking, you know, the song I used for Monkey Time, which is like the Drift Veil theme, right?
Yes.
I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even know that existed, you know? I probably did because I played Black or whatever game it's from. But I was only looking for the monkeys dancing, right? Because I remember seeing that video, but I was just looking for the monkeys dancing, and it just happened to be
Just had the music
that.
beneath.
Yeah, because I was just looking for the fucking monkeys dancing. But the thing is that Cheeky, like when we did the bit, Cheeky couldn't even hear the music. He just heard me being like, "Oh yeah, Monkey Time." He was just hearing me say that, and he just went along with it. You know, he just started also doing the same thing. He didn't even hear he couldn't hear the audio. Like he was just
Saying monkey
fucking
time.
he was just saying it. And it's so crazy how it like lines up with that. It's actually so crazy that Cheeky could like just go off.
Time.
He could just go off like that. And so it was a really random moment that was really special. And I think that's really the spirit of Hell in the Cell at the end of the day.
The fruitions of that, like the are finally like coming. I think Jovi said she's getting her VTuber model.
Yeah,
soon.
that's true.
True.
That is happening.
So
I can't.
You
confirm.
did that, Jet. You did that. Not really. I think she was interested in it for a while.
Yeah. I think like Hell in the Cell is kind of what makes, in a weird way, it's kind of what makes everything tick. Like it's kind of showing what makes everything tick. Like Cheeky, or I guess Sign as he goes by now, he will just go with anything, and bless his heart, you know. And then
True.
you're just always the ideas man. Like Hell in the Cell is just showing that completely, and I love it. I love Hell in the Cell. As much as I say I hate it, I don't know. I got $50 from it for charity, so how much can I hate it?
One time.
I think, to me, I mean, and I sort of touched on this before, but it's sort of weird when it's like only like this group of people that seem to be like really producing content and stuff. This is a bit off topic. We kind of skipped over the Team TSD topic. I don't know how interesting it is, but or you can go back to it later. But basically, it's just like, especially with the content week thing, it's just sort of like this one group of people. It would be perfectly fine that like, I think it'd be perfectly fine to like do content that sort of just assumes you have knowledge of like a certain group of people. If there were like more people doing this kind of content and people realize that they can do like, yeah, I can just like make funny stuff with my friends, and like that's content. But it's sort of weird when it's just like only one group of people doing it, and I feel like it might even like worsen the exclusivity problem that we might have, because like we were talking about this before, how like it seems like anybody can do this, but it's just like if you care enough. I think to a degree people, it's like some like bystander effect, where it's just like, oh yeah, I could run tournaments, I could like put a lot of effort into running tournaments, but other people are doing it, right? So what's the, like, why would I do that? So I don't know. It's just like I'm worried about leveraging like how much effort we put in like to ourselves versus how much effort we put into like making things available for other people. And that's sort of like what I think like the job of like community leaders for us right now. That's what we should prioritize, which is the fifth to this topic. What are priorities and goals? I think I don't know.
Great segue.
Like, I really like all the stuff we do, and I think this group of people has a lot of ideas, and we can talk more about like what ideas we have. But part of me is just like, if we do all this stuff, it's cool, but I want like other people to also be working on things.
Have you ever heard of the? Okay. So me and Modest were, well, are, or were, I don't know.
Modest is in and out of the community. It's like,
We're making a video, and in
Yes.
that we're trying to revise Tetris history, right? To just try to get a sense of like how significant this video is to Tetris history in terms of like inside of the video, like the story of the video, like this.
I think
what
I
we're
know which
talking
one you're
about,
talking about.
how significant it is, right? And so what we notice is that there's this thing called like the Great Gap. That's what we call it. Okay, which is like a 2-year period where literally nothing happened, and it was just like death. Okay, and I always think of every time I'm thinking of quitting, I always think about the Great Gap. Okay, so the Great Gap, what happened is that Hard Drop and like a few other people, or like whoever was organizing at that time, they all stopped doing things all at once, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like the reason for that is just like this huge chain of bystander effect. Like, okay, I can quit because this guy's doing something, and quit because this guy's doing something, and then it's just all of them all at once. They just all disintegrated, just boom, like all gone. And then it basically like killed what was at that time like the biggest like peak in activity for Tetris Friends. Okay, and essentially modern Tetris, right?
That was like height of TF era.
Yeah, it was like after TTO3, it was like, you know, Hebomai was very active, Ajamba was very active, all these great Japanese people were playing. We had Parkser and all these people, and they were all just really, really good, right? They were all just it was a really, really good time for that. And then just nothing happened. It stopped. I don't know. They made like a no Pomino tournament one time or some shit, and there was just like this huge, huge gap. Basically just hollowed us out, and it's just we regressed back into like, I don't know, it just was really, really, really bad time. And I think it's because of like the bystander effect, and just the not caring thing we were talking about before, just like the one group of people doing things.
Yeah.
Also important. But the Great Gap is like a really great example, at least to me. It's like a really good example. It's like, if you stop there, that's it. You know, it's like there's not more people aren't being added on to this thing you're doing. You know, if you stop, that's, you know, who is gonna be there? It's like nobody, you know?
I think we're in a
And
better spot now
Yeah.
than the people. I mean, I wasn't around for that time. That was just like before I started even playing competitively. But I think now we have like way more people, and we're also way more connected.
We're starting to
not e-
recover. Yeah. Was Discord
Yeah,
around then at that time?
no, I don't even know. I think
don't think
TeamSpeak
so.
was a thing, or IRCs, or I don't know, man.
Things were mostly happening on like forums back then, right?
It was mostly Hard Drop Forum, yeah. Like I remember I was trying to get into the community back in like 2016, and it was just like Hard Drop Forum chat. Like in Hard Drop, there used to be like this big chat, if people could just talk in it, and that was it. That was Discord back then.
It's like, how do you organize anything like that then? That's.
I mean, you can, and they did successfully like 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a
with-
barrier to entry thing. So
with good communication, you can always, like, again, it's just if you care enough about it, you can definitely make it work. Like, it doesn't matter what era you're in.
But if it's easier to care.
And even though we're in this great period, if I quit tomorrow, Oris quits tomorrow, you know, few people quit, they got a job or all blah, poof, it's all gone.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not like I'm being held prisoner by this game type thing, you know? But low key,
You are.
low key, I kind of am, but it's out of love.
Yeah.
But it's also, I'm kind of in it until there's just like this magic event where it's like I can be at peace with letting things go at some point, you know?
Yeah.
And I I just always pull myself together in terms of what I'm doing, simply out of the reason that, like, I don't want to be one of those people from back in the day who quit and then caused this thing, you know? Like, that's why I really hate quitting, because, like, it's not like quitting itself is a bad thing. Like, everyone has the right to quit. No one's obligated to do any of this, right? Because, like, we're all our own people and we all do whatever we want with whatever, right? We all have free, I don't believe in free will, but we have illusion. The illusion of free will exists for everybody.
All right, good. Continue.
So we all have that. But if we don't take the time to care for something, you're going to become just like these group of random people who quit. And you know, some people are fine with being that, and like it's cool for them. But I feel so shitty. Like I can't live with myself if that's who I became, you know? So like, yeah, I'm in this, but like my hatred for being these quitter people is a lot stronger than my will to quit, because like things get difficult or whatever happens, you know? So yeah, you know, it's a big point. The great gap is a thing. I never forget about it. It's always in my head, and so it keeps me in. It keeps me in.
There's a war veteran of the Great Gap. Like, I don't know, not war veteran. Yeah, I think like the key word or like key way to describe it is, I think like we need to kind of increase the resilience of the community to any kind of disrupting event, like a key community figure leaving, or like death of a key community figure, God forbid. But I don't know, like I think we're definitely in a better state to do that, just from sheer size, right? Like Tetris isn't really as niche as it was. Tetrio has kind of brought it into a new era.
It's a better place.
I think Discord being standard is pretty good. Sorry.
You can...
Oh yeah. Well, Discord has made us all very connected. Like it's pretty much like standardized how like perpetually online people can communicate. So I think it's harder for things to kind of just disintegrate as they have, but
true, but it can
still some more. There's still can. I think there's still some things that need to be put into place. I mean we are all, I think I keep harping on it, and like we're all familiar, but like Melee has been super resilient. Like it's like a 20-year-old game at this point basically, and not even basically, it just is 20 years old now, and like they're still going strong. They have obviously community figures that have like come and gone, and they're still going strong, probably even better than ever. Just so I think we can definitely look to them for a lot of inspiration.
The people care so much about Melee, you know. I want to have that. I want to have the people caring about Tetris, just like the people who play Melee care about that game. That's the dream.
Yeah.
True.
The culture.
That's a good enough topic.
We all kind of wish to cultivate.
You know, people who care about Tetris.
Yeah. Some shoutouts. I don't know.
No, I don't want to give shoutouts. I wanna talk about something that's very important and that's been causing me a lot of mental turmoil.
Sure.
So again, the people who really represent our community is like the best of the best players, right? Like the top players, they're really like, at least for me, that's what I care. Like when I'm in this community, I care about seeing them. But like I as a TO, I live in constant like fucking, sorry for language, I live in constant like fear, because like one day I could be hosting an event and then it's just, oh, you know what, man, I hate Tetra League, I hate all of you, I'm outie, ciao, boom. And then it's just, you know, or like every day, and it's like every day there's just this constant fear of someone quitting or someone leaving or something happening, and it's just every day it's just very, very hard for a TO. It's like you really want to be motivated and organize an event, and you just constantly see people like basically like pissing on the game, or like everyone around that, like, and then it's really, really difficult for like to like stay motivated when it's like there's this constant thing. It's like the players don't care, the people don't care, nobody cares. It's like, what's stopping you from not caring? And it is like there's a lot of willpower that you need in order to like really stay in tune. And I think that doesn't really happen in places like Melee, or I think a more comparable community in terms of like demographic is like Osu.
Yeah.
In terms of like the people who play this game. And it's just like would that happen in Osu? I don't know anything about Osu.
I don't think any of us are here are
Nope.
know enough about Osu community. I mean, I can make some guesses. I think I know what you're talking
Like
about.
I saw a video about like
who
the
you're
top
talking
player
about.
quitting one time or something, but like I don't think that really happens everywhere, and so there's just like this constant like just fear that we have to live as TOs because of like player stability. Like we have to not only worry about even running events or keeping events going, but just like the people who are actually going to participate in those events. They there might not even be in it. They might not even care. Like you have to, I've had so many conversations with so many people where it's like, oh, I hate my play. I hate the way I play. I never want to play again. Like I feel like I'm not enough, and it's just like, and it's like I respect, people will have their mental issues and things, but at the same time, it's like I can't relate to it very well. Maybe I think that's a big reason
There's
too.
a few
Like,
levels of empathy here that it's hard. Like.
and it's like but like I'm here, like I play, like I compete too, like I play tournaments when I'm not organizing, right? Like I tried to play yesterday, I couldn't due to Pizza Hut.
Pizza.
But I try to play, and it's just like, what is going on where there's just like this constant threat that's like harming not the whole player base, but like what I think is a very, very important part of the player base, right?
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know.
Well, do you have anything to say, Renge? Or I can give my piece as well.
You can go first.
Well, yeah, so I think there's a few things to break down. The first is just that the journey to becoming a really good Tetris player is often very, very solitary, right? It's just a lot of grinding. It's a lot of like playing by yourself. You don't really end up considering like a community that got you here, right? It's harder. Obviously, the people that at the top of the game do like care about the community somewhat, but it's definitely not to the degree that someone would get, or not necessarily to the degree that people would get nowadays, right? Because it wasn't really easy to get a lot of like strong matches against people of a really high level, and it's just like the community as a whole was less connected, right? So the top players right now have all been playing for quite some time. I guess not like, I think the youngest one, or like not youngest, but like Blarg hasn't been playing for too long. But it's all like very solitary. I think the newer generation of players and like the Tetrio, like they got better through TL. I think I'm kind of surprised how many of like the people like recognize each other on TL and stuff, and the community as a whole is more interconnected, which can help that sort of like committing feeling. But it's just like, it's hard to feel like, it can be hard for those players to feel like they they owe people anything, because like what are why are we doing this at all, right? It's just it's for others, right? It's to give other people like a good experience. And I think it matters less that the players are of the highest caliber to make people care, and it's more that people see them often, right? And you're gonna end up seeing top players the most often because, you know, they're the ones making it to the ends of all these tournaments. They're constantly getting streamed, you know. So that's where that recognition comes from. Maybe even a recognizable style or that kind of thing. Like, people always like root for and watch, like, or come out for like Caboozled runs, and he's definitely a top player in his own right, but like that's not necessarily because he's like the best of the best. It's because he's recognizable, right? Recognition does come from coming out to these streams and stuff, but or like does come to the top players, but that I think that's more a product of it's more a product of just like being constantly on, and not necessarily because they're super good, because it's hard as like a casual viewer or like the majority of viewers to like really have an appreciation for like the difference between like a low X player or even like a U player and like a high X player. You can see like the stats, but stats aren't really descriptive of like play style or any kind of like smart decisions a player made. And commentary is definitely there to bridge some of that gap, but I think part of the resilience of like Melee, even though like top players have retired, is or like really like familiar top players have retired, is because people don't necessarily go out to Melee tournaments all the time just because like the best players, or like the best player in the world is there. It's because like the best player in their region is there, right? And they've like played with them constantly. They've like spoken with them on a personal level, and like, you know, that kind of, I talked a lot about like local culture last podcast, but yeah, so in terms of resilience to top players leaving the scene, I think some way to like showcase players that like is aside from just like showcasing the best of the best. I think Jed's Hell in the Cell was a really good way to do that too, and like streaming in general. I mean, like, people didn't necessarily just care about that because it's just like two S players and you said Monkey Time a bunch of times. It's because it was Jovi and Selena, right? Or people that are like recognizable.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there. It's like people care about the people that they've made connections with.
That's not my point. Like, my point is like, no, think about it like this. Like, if we're talking about Melee, right? Like, imagine like every day, like you constantly see or just talk to people, and it's like, man was like, bro, I really hate all this, and I don't want to do this, and I'm just gonna quit or something. And then like they become like TOs, or like they don't become TOs, they become like commentators or some weird shit, or like they're on the chat or something,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, that does happen eventually.
That's like Hell in the Cell is like whatever, but it's not occasionally either. It happens a lot, like a lot.
Yeah. I think
And like,
I know a few people that you might be talking about, but it's okay. Yeah, it's also stressful for them, I guess. Is that I buried a few things in there. I know your main worry is that like a lot of the draw of the tournaments that you run is like top players.
oh, they're saying you're quiet, by the way, or
oh, thanks. I moved a little far from my mic.
okay, yeah, all right. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's very worrisome as a TO to see the condition of players, and it's not very great. Because really, as a TO, like your main worry should just be like the organization of these events, right? Like at least myself, I'm not like very good at dealing with like the the emotions of other players.
Yeah, I think one of these needs to be about like mental health or something, but we need to
For
find like a
sure.
psychologist or something. I'm not gonna just
For
like pull on a rando. Or one thing I was thinking about is we could just go over some like mental health like resources that people can utilize or whatever. Like a lot of Dr. K stuff is like specific to gamers, you know, something like that. But that's for something else, and it's really not the job of the TOs to worry about that, and it can't, obviously that's not going to stop you from worrying about it, but you know, you're doing your best, Jed, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think in terms of like giving top players a reason to play, or like people in general a reason to play, that can be, well, yeah, I guess we've gone around it, but I think content is a pretty strong, or like just attention in general is a really strong motivator, like as a reason to play. People like being on like 100 plus viewer streams, like 1,000 plus view videos, that kind of thing, you know, the numbers help. But
I think that's part of why people really like playing in like underdog stuff. I think running more stuff like that can get popular will like incentivize more people to play and get good.
Our current problem though is that all the videos and all the content that we're producing right now is made for people still within the community, and that is into the priority kind of stuff. I think we should try, and we've talked about this before, and we can go into a discussion about it now, but our priority as a community, or one opinion, is we shouldn't be making stuff for people outside of the community, because as of right now, when people say the word Tetris, they think about Joseph Saley, they think about Hypertap, and they think about rolling. Maybe they think Doremi Wumbo, but like that is kind of the that's kind of the
extent of things.
Yeah, and like it's great to feel recognized like within this community, but to a lot of people there's not really a lot of appeal. Like, I mean, people play the game. I play the game personally because like it's just fun, right? Like it's nice to place pieces quickly in like in a meaningful manner. I might not be the completely I might not agree. I know, Jed, you've said like you play to like beat certain people.
Just beat people up. That's the funnest part of this game
just
ever.
Kill people, you know.
Like
Violence.
two guys or two people or whatever get in a game. We got the same pieces, same mechanics, and all we got is our minds and our will to win. You know, that's beautiful, man. That's why I like Melee too. You know, it's just like,
There's a lot of games that fit the description. Just any 1v1 game.
That's just fighting games in general. That's why I like it. You know, it's because it's not really a fighting game necessarily.
It's just it's just a competitive 1v1.
But it is
So
low key.
Oh, whatever. We don't need to
We're
get into
low
this.
key fighting. You know, I don't know why people always have a debate with me with this, but we're fighting each other. Like we're like, what does the spike mean? This is a puzzle solve.
Is chess a fighting game?
Mahjong type beat? No. This is. It's not like chess either, because chess is like if
the
you
same
make
pieces, 1v1.
Ooh.
It's about
like,
pace, right? It's just about
it's
pace.
active and constant. Yeah, like chess isn't like that at all. You know.
Yeah, like what appeals to you is the pace, and if a 1v1.
What appeals to me is just that we're just both in it and we're both connected, and our choices is what determines our victory for the most part. So it really makes it cool. And of course, the pace is poggers as well. But
anyway, about like prioritizing content that goes out instead of staying within the community. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Documentaries are the best way to do that.
Yeah, speedrun
I like
documentaries
those.
are a big thing to look towards.
But there's like, okay, there's just, again, and this goes into like actually the consequences of the Great Gap. So again, let me re-explain because we have a few new people in here. The Great Gap is like a period of Tetris where nothing was organized or nothing was done for about 2 years. Okay. So after the Great Gap, I think what ended the Great Gap was TTO4. Okay.
Yes.
Nothing or almost nothing of TTO4 exists like archive wise. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't exist. Like Blink did not save the VOD or whatever.
How much does Eddie
I don't know
have
what happened.
about on that?
Eddie doesn't have anything on it either. Like there's just no, like there's very little like a match stuff you can say because it just doesn't exist. Like we have like Hebo My videos and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But like tournament wise, that didn't happen. And this dog doesn't. Okay, so tournament wise, like old stuff, we don't have a lot. And actually, there wasn't gonna be, if we're talking about TTO 5, without here comes an important character, Dazer. Without Dazer, there wouldn't have been a stream for TTO 5. Can you imagine one of us host like Tetrio Journey or like Tetrio Cup or any other tournament and there's no stream?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like no stream at all? Right? Like
yeah, that's crazy.
we'd have to leave. We'd have to go. You know? And that's the state of things up to a certain point. So yeah, content is great. I think documentaries are great because it's like a very like popcorn way to get people into like the culture of any community, right? Like I'm sure we've seen speedrun
Yeah.
history videos and shit before. Like that's great. That's great. I know way too much about Mario 64. I've never played Mario 64.
Yeah. I think
But there's like stuff.
Yeah.
There's like stuff there for people to see and shit.
the main
But it's
draw
just, like-
there is, I feel like it is like there are like characters that come in and out, and it's starting to be in summoning salt videos that like you start seeing this. They're like recurring characters at this point because like people, it's like the same people that are good at all the runs, but just a lot of like
True.
when you explore like interesting mechanics and that kind of thing, or it doesn't even need to be that interesting of a mechanic. You know, people watched a video about people rolling. Rolling is just pressing the button fast by like using more than one finger somehow. Like I don't know. It's just
Yeah, but what's
It's
the
a
meaning of
friendly-
that? That's
Rolling is just playing the tambourine, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that's
Took them
definitely
like
something that we should look into.
30 years to figure that out.
Yeah.
And it's just like what? Like sure.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the most efficient way I think is doing stuff like that.
Definitely.
But the condition of old modern Tetris material is deplorable. Like absolutely deplorable. And I don't know why.
We can sort of rewrite it, and like we don't necessarily have to go into the old stuff, and we can just talk about what people have been doing recently, which is a little sad, but
Or
yes.
this is a, if we think about it like correctly, this is like 15-year-old game.
Yes.
Like TF came out in like 09. Right?
Yeah.
Or 21, 11, whatever. You do the math. Someone look it up. This is a very old game. But we have the archiving practices of like destroyed civilizations or some shit. Why? You know?
I don't know. I think the
And
big
so-
archiving guy nowadays is Eddie, and I learned his anime archiving backstory recently. Sorry to interrupt though. We could go into it after you finish.
The main point is that like, and you know what was the issue of like starting now and rewriting now? There isn't a lot of time. Like
Yeah.
I really thought about this. I don't even have 2 years into this community. You understand? Like, so much of this happens at such a fast scale that it's actually insane. Like, I feel like I've been here for like a decade, and it really has been like a year, or like a little more than 2.
Because I think most things happened just within the past year or 2, because of like Tetrio, basically.
Tetrio and COVID. Is
Tetrio and COVID. It's kind of like our community at this point, because of the Great Gap and everything you said. Our community is basically like a year old.
So basically, that means 80%, or like approaching 90% of everything that's happened will never be seen.
Yeah.
It will never be seen. What type of cursed ass shit is this? You know? Like, that's cursed.
Yeah.
So, we gotta work with, like, if we're really gonna do something, and I'm talking about not even content, just like content that's meaningful, that actually, like, matters, you know? Like, you'd show it to someone if you want them to start learning, or like, you want them to get interested into a community, like the doc, right? And not Microbliss's feet, which is also very cursed.
You didn't like Microbliss's feet? That's so sad.
No, I don't know why that was a focal point. I don't know, like, why he's on a chair. Like, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, if we really want to make something substantial, we have very few. We have to, like, pick very specific, like, things.
Yeah,
Out of
you need to,
the few things that even exist in general, you know?
you just need to pick stories, good stories. It doesn't. You can spin them how
What
you
I'm trying
want.
to say is that good stories have died.
Yeah, that's why
They will never be heard.
a lot of like good stories that you can tell from the older era are certainly not quite there. I don't know how you could maybe like find old players to retell them and like do kind of that kind of format, like an old storyteller, old Blink on his chair, telling you about how, I don't know, Hebo might beat him up in real life or something. But like, yeah, I don't know. So a lot of the content I've planned out has been mostly Tetrio era stuff, or like, because I don't even feel confident in my ability to tell like these kinds of older stories because I wasn't around for them, right? So, I mean, you say that you've only been like in the community for like a year or 2, but I mean like you've been playing for a decent bit, right?
Okay.
So, or I don't know. I mean, like, we don't have to specifically like make the same kind of stuff and like agree on what is most important to make, but I think it's easiest and most practical to make content about events that have happened in the recent era, basically.
And I think we can do both on like
Yeah, it's
in
not
the
it's not
end,
like
it's
an
not like
exclusive thing.
hard and fast. We can only do this. We can only do
But
that sort of deal.
I do appreciate the efforts of those who are, trying to preserve things. And with that, one of the biggest people trying to preserve things in the Tetris community right now is Eddie. And his anime backstory for this is that he every family, like, they have like a big hard drive or they store their family photos somewhere. So he was one day he was looking around trying to find like his old family photos from like when he was a kid, found the hard drive, and he found that it had been reformatted by his older brother, and no longer were pictures of his, his childhood memories, family vacations, precious memories, replacing these precious memories were a bunch of anime photos and animes, and I don't know. And then he just said like, nah, he's not gonna let anything like escape. He's gonna archive everything. It was just funny. It's just really funny to me.
Grandma's last photo is replaced by Gargura.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
It's okay.
That's actually very funny.
Anything can be the catalyst for wanting to start to care about something, even if it's something as big as, family photos being translated to archiving Tetris, this and that. I think that's really nice. In a weird way, again.
Yeah.
Speaking about Gargura, what do you think about like
VTubers?
like 80% or like more like half of every streamer on the Tetris category is a VTuber?
I used to want to lean into it. You guys remember this era of me?
I remember this era.
Or for people that don't know, there was a time where I was like interested in live 2D because it's cool. It's cool software, like you turn like a 2D image into basically like something similar to a 3D model that like you can animate like programmatically, or it's cool, right? It's cool software. And people seem to be to like VTubers, but it's just like it doesn't make sense to me anymore. Like, why do people watch that? I thought it was just like because it looks cool, but I feel like there's a whole like culture around VTubers that I just didn't understand, like how they interact with each other and how I talked about this with some people. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I understand why it's a thing, but like it doesn't. It's just like RP. It's just RP. It's just RP.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's RP.
It's RP.
I think it was best told to me by big man Dazer at Team TSD after we rated a VTuber and everybody else was complaining to him about having rated a VTuber. He said, "Look, I'm not gonna do his voice because I think that's mean. But he told me that, or he told everyone that VTubers are just like anime waifus, except they interact with you, and that's why they're popular." And I think that's so true, and I don't really know how to feel about that other than admitting that it is very true. But I think that's kind of one big aspect, is just like they're cute. I don't know. The models are quite cute. Jed, what do you think?
Dude, VTubers. Shout out to Dazer. Listen, if it gets people to play Tetris, then I'm down with it. But like, out of personally, like, I don't feel right about someone like pretending to be an anime character. Like, I don't know if I'm from a different era. Like, I'm pretty young. But like, I'm not into like someone be like, thank you for the follow. Like that's not for me type B, Like that can be for someone else.
Yeah,
but it's not for me.
I can understand the appeal, but I don't get the appeal. That's all. When I did VTuber stuff, it's just like, I don't know. It was fun to learn the software, and I thought the community would be a lot more connected than it was.
Well, they all hate each other. They all hate.
Yeah,
they're like
it's
very
just
terrible.
They're bonded only by like, I don't know.
By capitalism.
Yeah, I guess like it costs a lot of money to like find a good modeler and good artist. So they mostly like talk to each other about like refs and technology or something. Like the first time I interacted with Selena, I asked like, is there like a place where all like the Tetrio VTubers talk or something? And she said like, no. It's like, I just like assumed that would be a thing, cause like I was just like, what? Like what? Then why else would they all be playing Tetrio? And it's because they're all copying other people. They just copy each other. It's just like the streamer grind, but like it's a
You
different
take what's
flavor.
But
That's-
like you also,
you-
because you basically become like a local rapper, right? When you become a VTuber,
Yeah.
like yo, watch my mixtape or watch my
It's a
model.
surprisingly accurate analogy.
Like they're local rappers. Like when you become a VTuber, you become a local rapper. All right, that's crazy. I'm not saying that's terrible. That's kind of crazy, you know.
Also, not to rag on Selena, not like she's like, it's not like she's like trying to like just get into like Tetris. She didn't get into Tetris because like she was like looking at
Yeah,
games
it would
other
make no
VTubers played.
sense.
She is like, she like already really liked Tetris before she started thinking about all this VTuber stuff. So,
Shut up.
She said no other VTubers wants to play with her because she's too good at it. She's told me that before.
It's called
I think that's
gaming.
hilarious.
tells you the level of the no.
She's on that borderline U rank SS. Come on now, folks.
Yeah.
Stickspin, just do something. Anyway.
Yeah. I guess one on the topic, we passed it over a few times, but Dazer. I mean, I don't know, maybe we could also get him on, but like how did you guys meet and like end up forming Team TSD? You also alluded to this a little bit before, but you can
Yeah,
talk
this is
about
all
it.
you.
Sure, I can talk about, because like Renge came like I'll tell you how I met Renge. Actually, you probably know her.
I do,
But in terms of meeting Dazer, so check it out. I joined a tournament called Dal's Tetris Tournament.
is
Alright.
Stal still here? He raided us.
This certain tournament called Dal's Tetris Tournament, and I played it, and I enjoyed it. Like I lost to Garbo and Spider, I think, and Garbo kind of hoed me because like I was up like it was like a 1-7 or something, right? And I was up like 6-4, and then he's like, wait, or 6-5. He was like, wait. When I was at game point, it kind of freezed me, and I lost. I lost on tiebreaker. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm like, yo, this was good. I could probably beat Garbo if I join another one. So next tournament comes around. This tournament, you may know it, Jstris Cup,
Yeah.
was being organized, and so I'm like, yo, that's crazy. There's a cup. Where is it? Anyway, so I sign up for it, and I'm there like an hour early, right? Like an hour early, cause like I'm really zoned. Like when I played, I was like actually like robot status on Dal's tournament. Like I would be like, hello, this is my room. I do not want warm up. I am ready. Be ready. And then I said, like, it was like that. Like I was giving that energy off, right? Because I was really nervous because I've never played a tournament ever, right? So what ends up happening is I'm there an hour early, and then check-in comes out. Like, okay, I checked in. So I'm like, I'm just waiting. Like, now we're having a fun time. Whoa, right?
Yes.
So what happens is, check-in comes through, and they're like, yo, we all chilling. We're making the bracket. Be right back. Right?
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is, they make the bracket. I'm like, yo, let's go. I'm ready. And then I don't see my name on the bracket. And then I'm looking at it like, yo, maybe I got last seed or something. You know, where the fuck am I at? And then I realize I'm not on the bracket. And so I'm not happy at all. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, man? This tournament sucks booty hole. Okay?
Yeah.
So I just tell them, man,
Swear. It's like,
I
it's
checked
not-
in. I swear to God, I checked in. Why am I not in the tournament? And they're like, are you sure you checked in? Because it's like, it doesn't say you checked in. It's like, bro, you know, I was being this unreasonable. I was kind of being like what I hate of people now. Then it's like, bro, I swear I was here an hour early. I was doing all my shit. Why am I not in the tournament? It's like, I'm sorry, we can't do anything about it. But I was that guy, right? So I got really angry and I just left. And I gave the tournament a bad review. I gave it a 1 star on BattleFi.
You could
Like,
you
this
can rate
tournament
tournaments on
sucked.
BattleFi.
You
I didn't know
can,
that.
you can, and they read the feedback of me giving this tournament, Jstris Cup, a bad review.
People
So what
read
ends up happening
feedback
is
on BattleFi.
I would
the
if I knew it was a thing.
Okay,
the
sorry.
TO
The
came
TO.
up to me and he was like, "Yo, I'm sorry about what happened. It's very unfortunate." And then I realized that I stalked his Twitter, and then I like, oh, he speaks Spanish. So like I randomly started speaking Spanish. He's like, "Oh, you speak Spanish? You should join the Latam community, the old one."
Yeah.
And so I joined it, and that's where my whole story happened, right? And so eventually I became friends with all the admins, which included Mr. Dazer, right?
Yeah. Has he been around for like that long?
He's been around for a long time, for sure. There was a point where Dazer was like top 3 in Latam. It's very funny because he barely makes like top 40
No.
now. It's very funny.
Kids are too good nowadays.
But he's been around the block.
He's been
Yeah,
around-
shout out
Okay.
to
Alright.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
I just stole that from Cheeky. I'm gonna give him credit.
Look at the chat.
But yeah. Most definitely, that's how I met Dazer, for sure. And eventually the Latam people who organized everything. Oh, by the way, he organized everything. Like the Latam people have been organizing like the big tournaments for like most of the Jstris Cups actually. And the original Team TSD team is basically that team without the people who obviously quit and gave us the tournament or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then when they wanted to quit organizing Jstris Cup, I picked it up with Dazer, and we made Team TSD, and that was that. If Renge wants to count, I mean, Renge, did you meet Dazer like after you joined?
I met Dazer the day I did Tetris Cup 2 with you guys, I think. Or like, I think that was our first interaction, probably.
All right. Then we should. Then this will connect to your story.
Okay.
So, here's the thing, right? Besides being a Tetris player and organizer, I am a great Kappa melee player. Kappa.
Yeah.
So this person called ModestTomato, he also knew that I played melee, right? He also knew I played melee. So what he did is he invited me to the server organized by someone called Ors. I don't know who that is.
Yes.
No idea.
And the server was called Tetris Melee, right? And they played melee in this Discord. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And in there, in that room, there was ModestTomato and this other like unknown UC top 16er.
You got top 16?
I did get for top 16. That's the first
I didn't
one.
know that. Let's go.
Nobody does.
No,
Nobody
fucking-
remembers. It's just because nobody remembers the first UC in general. That's why. Sorry, Fick.
So,
Yeah.
terrific. So I made this UC top 16 almost champion Renge along with ModestTomato, and that's how I met Egg Fried Renge.
That's how we met.
And me,
then
pretty much. Right.
True. I feel like
what?
did we talk? No.
You messaged
Actually,
me
I
once
think-
when you messaged me once when I was like toying around with making Jstris matchmaking, but that's our only interaction.
True.
I will. I
No,
do have
no,
that
I
on
think-
a to-do list too.
I think we talked on MCDT or something.
What?
Were you on there? Were you on the team? I don't think you were on the team.
Documentaries?
Okay, that was just Ben. Okay. Because for the first MCDT, I don't know what my involvement in that was, but I remember talking to a few people on the team.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I only talked to Oris before that for a bot.
my level of involvement, or like my time of involvement, is probably around the same as Renge, with the scene. Even though I've been around a bit longer, I just lurked for a long time.
You were Garbo mod, right? I knew you as Garbo mod in my head. You know?
Yeah, but that was like a month after I was like became a Garbo mod. Dude, it was not even like Twitch mod. It was just Discord mod, because I'm a yeah.
You're a Garbo cult member. Shout out to Garbo cult.
Yeah, I don't talk there very much anymore, but I'm sure they're doing okay.
No, the death of Garbo cult. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's how we all met. It's weird that we all met through Melee. I thought you had known Renge some other way. Like, how did you meet Modest?
Renge. How did I meet Modest? So the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure if I hadn't met Modest, I probably wouldn't be here or anywhere close to here.
I think I know where you met Modest, but you can finish your turn.
I met Modest playing in a little tournament. It was called Tetris Cup 1. And if you look at the bracket, and I've gone back to look at it as a fond memory, you'll see round 2, Egg Fried Renge versus ModestTomato, seed number 20.
No.
And he beat my ass. I'm not gonna lie. He absolutely whooped me. But right after, this was right on the time around when I was really, really trying to grind and get as good as possible. And I was also like super letting go of myself in terms of schoolwork, which is bad. Don't do that.
Yeah. Senior year high school, it's okay.
I think it was either senior year high school, first year university. I don't remember. I lost to him, and then I was like, hey, I think you're really good. Do you want to coach me sometime? And then he said yes. And then we just started DMing back and forth. And then eventually we started playing Melee together. He mentioned Jed a couple times, and I was like, in my head, I was like, who is he talking about? Who's Jed? What? I've never heard of this man. And then a little while later, he invited me to Tetris Melee. And I played Melee with you. I played Melee with Jed.
Just because I decided to stream Melee that one time.
Yeah, the one time I played you, and then you beat my ass. This story has a lot of like people just like beating me up in it now that I think about it. But it's okay. And then I don't know, I think we were all like pretty active in Tetris Melee during its heyday.
A while, yeah. And now I think people don't play Melee as much anymore. But
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, just me.
I
I play a lot. I've tried to play less because it's harder. It's just easier to get lost playing Melee, I feel like.
Yeah.
How did wait. Fuck. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my god. I have a question in your head, and then it's like, oh yeah, or I love Melee, and then you forgot what you're about to say.
Melee.
We all love Melee. I think it is super crazy that we all help each other with tournament and content ideas and stuff, but we didn't actually meet each other playing Tetris.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know how you Renge met Zoo recently.
I did meet Zoo recently. That was crazy. We have a photo together. It's not on anywhere except my phone, but maybe I'll post it on Twitter sometime.
And he said he would be open to helping out with Tetris. I don't know what to ask him. I don't know what you would ask him, but
yeah, me neither. I'm actually waiting for the perfect opportunity. Maybe I'll send him this, and I'll send him the timestamp, and I'll be like, hey, what do you think?
Sure.
We just talk about you for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did meet him at the Pinnacle, a Melee tournament in Vancouver, which is where I live. And yeah, I don't know, that was just like a really, really fun experience. And this is also super off topic, but it's revitalized my dream of hosting an IRL tournament with like as many top players as possible, like WPL, but on
You
a
have
way
to
bigger
fly
scale.
out all of the Malaysians.
Oh yeah,
You have to spend
you know,
thousands of dollars on just visas and
it could just be a vacation.
it's oh yeah, I
Not
guess
work.
just a vacation. I mean, don't you still need a visa to like cross the border?
You need a passport to cross the border.
Oh wait, I'm dumb. Yeah, I don't know how this works. I think it's just
Me
for like
neither.
if the trip is longer than like a certain amount of time or something.
I don't know.
I've needed a visa to go to like China before, but I think that's because it was a long family trip.
No idea, but
No, they just hate America.
Yep.
That's it.
obviously, as much as I would want to have something like that be in Vancouver,
Yeah.
because I don't know, I think the city is great.
We just need to like
Probably
pick a
would
town.
have to be something,
Pick like a college, and like we're just gonna all meet there, and like run a
Yeah.
tournament there.
something like that.
Southwest Alabama Community College coming to you soon.
Let's go. Yeah.
Tetris Cup live.
I don't know. Probably somewhere in like Boston. Like there's one of the Boston colleges probably works. Or
Modest House tournament.
yeah.
One. Just
Something
all
on the
meet
East
at
Coast,
Modest's
like
house.
makes the
dude.
most amount of sense for that kind of thing. But that is surely horribly off topic enough to be like a let's talk about this next time sort of deal.
Yeah.
Jed, do you remember what you're gonna ask?
Bro, I forgot. It was about Ors. Oh yeah. How did you meet Modest Ors?
I don't. He was just in my chat. Like someone was in my chat that like wanted to play. Yeah, cause like my entrance to the community was kind of weird. I just like so I don't know. I was just like streaming. I was just bored. I was just streaming prime time so my friends could like watch me play Tetris. And I also I don't know. And then people from like MMC, because MMC has the now streaming role, and like I would also stream like playing Jstris or whatever. It's just like I don't know what like I wanted. It's just like my kind of like passive way of like reaching out to the community, and eventually some people like joined my rooms, and like the first person to come was Giant, and he really beat me up. Like I was like a 70 APM player. I didn't really play a lot of 1v1s, so like you know that's a humbler, right? Like you know that's kind of the level where you kind of feel good about at the game, because like you can pretty much destroy overflow rooms at that level, or you could back in the day. I think overflow rooms are a little higher level nowadays, but
Because the
'cause
game's
I-
dying.
'cause
Anyway,
I-
yeah, go on.
because I beat up overflow rooms now, and they're all 70 APM players. So yeah, and then Plu joined one of my rooms, and we were like at exactly the same level at that time. I think it was like a 15-14 I won, but yeah. So then I did more with MMC. At the same time, I also was getting into coaching and UC because I like teaching stuff, and you guys probably know the rest if you're even watching this.
True.
Yeah.
But what
Say
if
it
they
for
don't?
People in the back anyway.
I don't even remember like. Regardless, somehow Modest just ended up in my chat. I'm pretty sure he probably just found it from. He just like, I don't know if he was following me at that point, and then, you know, Modest is just kind of like an outgoing guy, sometimes.
Tell them.
So, yeah, he just said, yeah, do you want to play? And I was like, yeah, I'll play some melee, because I guess like it's not common for a lot of people to be into melee. I thought the overlap would be bigger, honestly, between melee and Tetris, but it's not that big.
It's pretty big. It's not small. It's not pretty. I mean, it is like the same 6 or 7 people playing every time that somebody asks to play.
I remember we've hosted several major events like as like a base of talking in Tetris Melee.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like-
happen anymore. Now it happens in Renge's server, but it was a funny era. It was a funny era where you would just randomly invite people to that server. And it's just like, all right.
People just start talking in there, dude. You're just like, oh yeah, man. Okay, we're setting up a rock paper scissors tournament in here.
Yeah.
In or you're out.
And then I
That
think
was
at that point
crazy.
it got like too much. I was just like, you know what? We gotta kick these people out. They don't play. Like, what was this server for again? And then, oh yeah, and then we kicked a lot of people out.
Oh. Um.
That was a crazy server.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
what?
a lot of the
Anyway,
people did.
do you want to know how I met ModestTomato?
Tell him.
So, listen. All right. Hot off coming into the community, you already know me. There was this guy called Zach, right? And this Zach guy was hosting a tournament, Tetris, Taiwan, whatever. All right, TTT. So I sign up for this. I remember the tournament so great because I remember doing like a huge comeback on Zach. First of all, I do not like TOs that play their own tournaments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why? For what, man? Like I'm struggling out here. Why? Like, you're just smurfing me. Anyway, Zach, it was played in top. All right, or TOP, or the Tetris Online.
Good client. Kind of.
Tetris Online Poland is actually very, very well done for no reason.
Looks really good.
So I did a great comeback against Zach. Oh, now that I remember, it wasn't this edition. No, it wasn't at all. I think Zach's thing was another thing. Never mind. I'll talk about that another day. But short story on that though, I ended up like, I was like down like 14-6 or something, and then I ended up beating Zach. I don't know. In the actual TTT tournament, ModestTomato, he was told the day before to switch to like the Chinese server or something in top. Like, you can switch somehow to the Chinese server on top. And he did that, and then he couldn't connect to regular matches, and he was holding up the entire bracket. And I yelled at him because he was holding up the entire bracket. I don't think this is how I actually met ModestTomato. I'm not gonna lie.
You just met
Like,
all your
not at all.
friends like by like being a rude tournament participant. You met Dazer this way.
Like, I don't think that's what happened though. I feel like that's the story he likes to tell, and that's what I believe because I don't really remember.
You're getting
how
gaslit.
you gaslit by Modest.
Yeah, but like
I'm
think
sure it
we
was just
met-
like he was commentating or something. It has to be that.
No. It was definitely that I played him during
One of these
like an event.
tournaments. Yeah.
Like, I was playing him. No. It was like in a Jstris event, and I'm like, yo, it's all like, I'm pretty sure I met him before, and I was like, yo, it's always nice playing you. You're such a nice, like, I was being like such a nice guy to him, right? And I thought, oh, I must have been a nice guy to him before, because I'm like, you're so cool to play against. You're so pog. But he tells this story where it's like, I yelled at him. I yelled at him because he like ran. He was holding up the bracket. And I don't even think I did that type beat. I don't remember me doing that.
Where's the bot?
I think.
Oh,
it's
did I?
incredible.
Quick is saying I bet Jed because he got mad at me at MCDT for miscounting the set score. Oh, true, dude. I don't know. It was this French player. What was his name? Spin Effects. When I played MCDT, they kept like, they wanted us to pause between every game, and that just doesn't happen in Jstris, you know? Like, people don't pause in Jstris. It's like, you lose, boom, boom, boom. You just go until it's over, right?
Yeah.
And then Spin Effects just wanted to constantly pause, and he just basically messed up the score, and he destroyed me, and I kind of got super mad at him, and it was a rough time. Pre TLV was a pretty intense guy.
Not a lot of chances to play 1v1s back then. Yep.
No, I was just like, I was playing like 300 games a day,
Oh.
like during that period. Like, I was playing a lot. Like I was playing like first to 100 with like Raiko or something, and Raiko was I was beating him up basically, like just doing punching bag sessions with a bunch of
Raiko
random
was
people.
like, he was like one generation of Jaws away from me.
Generation of Jaws.
Yeah.
True. No, Raiko is the best Argentine player.
Yep.
in the world. It's crazy. He could easily be 24-9. So crazy.
Yeah.
But so crazy, ModestTomato.
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
I feel like we haven't followed topic.
No, yeah,
since
we
the
haven't at
beginning.
all. I
This
like
is,
usually
like,
for like these kinds of
story time.
podcast things, I feel like they don't really show the topic list. So maybe I should. It was just for the first one because it was basically like I wanted it to be kind of a pseudo guide. So it's just like we followed the topic list more strictly,
grandfathered in.
and then we went off topic. But this is totally just like maybe for the future I'll like hide the topic list. But then what am I gonna put on the right side of the screen?
I don't know, man. Put like
The
fun
Blockfish
facts.
extra big.
Yeah. I was thinking also about like I could just like spectate a TL game, like quick play or something.
Maybe.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then it's just like it's more than just like Blockfish.
For sure. Yo, you've been milking this Blockfish like overlay for a hot minute,
Hey,
man.
I
I
mean,
see it
I
on
got
every
it.
one of your.
It's
I see it
captivating.
on every stream. It
Get off.
definitely is, for sure.
You watch Blockfish go beep boop bop while you listen to Jed
Been
tell stories
milking the
about.
fuck out of this overlay, man. I love ores.
Well, yeah, we've been going for a while. If you guys want to have any last few things you guys want, or like we can go into probably like one or two last topics, and we should probably wrap up. I know Renge has to commentate
Yeah,
Tetris Journey Shonen in like an hour.
that's in a. I'm not on for.
You're not the
a
first
little
block.
bit, probably. I hope not.
I don't think you will be. I think. Well,
hope
I don't know.
not.
I have this whole thing set up. That needs to not be at the very beginning, I think. But. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that. There's some other stuff. But yeah, Jed, you're the new guy here. Where can we find you? What are your socials?
Wait, before that, also, I would like
Yeah.
to promote Jstris Cup. It's coming up next week. You should probably sign up for it. It will be on the Jstris front page if anyone still goes on there. But we will be promoting that. Jstris Cup, bit.ly/Jstris Cup 14 XIV. Probably put a link somewhere. Let me find it. But before that, make sure to sign up for Jstris Cup. It's Jstris, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just
Save the
time.
dead game. Save the dying game.
People thought no pass-through TL was good because it just reminded them of a better time. So why not?
Of a better
go all the
game,
way?
right? So crazy. Also, we do have back-to-back +2. That's all.
Yeah.
No, just
I think
Back-to-back
back-to-back
plus
plus two and like no pass-through Tetrio have a pretty similar feel, but still different in the.
yeah. But I had a back-to-back +2 like 5 months ago, ahead of the curve. So great. Anyway,
You do realize that we copied back-to-back +2
Yeah,
from
minimino
DT Anniversary?
and MCDT Anniversary.
I'm putting you on blast for this.
It's okay. Whatever.
hey, did you ever do it again?
We
No.
just do Tetrio I'm not even too much of a. What do we do?
No, but you did like 14 bag or something, man.
Oh yeah,
So
I don't
fun.
know. The point of
Ooh.
minimino was we just like did random stuff to see what would stick. And stuff.
Yeah, that back-to-back +2 was so good. I fell in love with it instantly. It was so fun.
Fail.
It's still very fun.
We fail like I don't know how many. Like 5 or 6 times, and we found one good rule set. Well, it's just not a bad hit rate. I
Hey, I'm
guess.
just saying 14 bag ain't so bad.
I think only
Can we get
Rivi
this
liked
guy
it.
off? Can we mute this guy?
Only Rivi likes like higher bag counts. That was the tournament that Tebo like protested by stall whiting
he
my
sure did.
tournament.
Do you know who was on comms at that tournament?
It was you, yeah.
That was me and Mars.
Yeah.
That was my first
I'm so
commentary
sorry.
block.
I should have just DQ'd him. I should have just DQ'd him instead of doing what I did, which was change the rule set in the middle and make it partial garbage blocking.
But you're such a nice guy, man. You can't like. I don't see you. You're not the shooter type. You know, you're not like the DQer type person.
And then I DQ'd.
Yeah.
I had to DQ Lauren. He's a good friend of mine. At
You
TTL because he
Oh,
kept.
you are the DQ type person. No.
I no, that was a formative experience for me. I knew like I didn't DQ that one time when I needed to, and it's just now I'm
Just
changed.
changed you for the worse, man.
Or he becomes jaded by society. Part 1.
He kept disconnecting. I don't know. It was like, how many times did we run that set? It was like 3 times or something. It's whatever.
Oh, that's why you DQ'd. What's his name?
Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
He was
DQ'd
playing
Lauren
against
for
me.
CTL. Yeah.
Against me. Yeah. Why does this always link? Why are we always apart? Anyway.
There's like two people in this community, and like both of them are here. So I don't know.
Brother.
What?
I'm joking. We're like it's a very small community. We're gonna run into each other.
It's true.
For sure.
Anyway, follow Jed at JedXO on Twitter, right? And JedXO
On Twitch.
on Twitch as well.
I'm
Or
on.
the-
Oh wait, no,
the
sorry. Your
one
TSD
hell
Jed.
of-
your TSD Jed on. I'll put it in the description or whatever.
Follow me on
Very-
Twitter, y'all. One
He does
time.
post
Only
things
for banger tweets.
occasionally.
I do post stuff like a singular. Twitter like said, "Oh, this is your 1-year anniversary." Very fun. Thanks,
Nice.
Twitter.
Where can we
Um,
follow you, or where can you
I
find
mean,
you?
just I don't know. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I don't really ever, or I don't know. Like you're
Yo,
stream it.
You're here.
I'm here. Like you have to be here. You have to have found me somehow.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Like, if anyone from chat wants to say anything, but that's basically our outro.
yo, I be plugging that Ors finesse video, even though like I always thought to skip like to when you actually start teaching finesse.
Yeah,
One time.
There are people who comment on that video that are like, yeah, I didn't even know what finesse was. And I was like, that's what the first part of the video is for. So
Poggers.
I guess. Yeah.
But follow Ors. Follow Renge.
Follow Renge.
Egg fried Renge.
Yeah, he's gonna
on
be
everything.
he's gonna be commentating a tournament in an hour. So go to
Yeah,
Moose's stream,
true.
find that, and yeah.
Yeah, watch MMC.
Oh, Jed's dead. Jed died.
Jet's dead. He's back.
Oh, Jed's back.
I
He
love
lives.
talking, and then my Discord just crashed. It's very fun. Yeah, well, follow everybody. Thank you all for the people who are here live. Thank you for listening.
And thanks for watching. If you're coming from the video,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a good time.
Put a poggers in the comments.
Yeah, for the algorithm.
If you're here if you've made it to the end, hit a poggers in the chat, or in the comment
comments
section.
down below.
Mhm.
I looked at the average watch time on the first one. It was like 5 minutes. It's
Really?
okay.
That's funny.
That's fucked up.
Or- I don't know.
I know.
I don't know
a
how
bunch
much of it
people
is
who
just
watched
me.
all the way
Like,
to the end.
I think there's a lot of people that watch all the way to the end, and then a lot of people who just click on it and then click off. So the average ends up like
Oh yeah.
5.
I watched the entirety of the last one.
Oh, Kepsi's
Aw.
here.
Okay.
Simp Shrimp. Some people who were like lurking in chat.
Shout out to Latam people, my dogs.
Shout out to Canadian people. All none of you.
What are you talking about? Anyway, yeah. Thanks for coming out, guys. See ya.
All right, see you.